is the future of operating system. Next one is the what is the difference between logical address and physical address? The address which is generated by the CPU, the address which is generated by CPU is called as logical address. The address which is managed by the memory management unit, MMU, memory management unit, is called as physical address. For example, I want to search one file, OS interview questions.pdf. So automatically the CPU gets first generates one address. That address is called as logical address. This address will be carried forward to MMU unit. MMU means memory management unit. This is the hardware component. This component can identify or can matches this logical address with the already registered information. Then finally they have to identify where the address is present. That means where the file is located in the memory. So automatically moves on to specific location and get the data. So this is the difference between a logical address and a physical address. Next one is what is the difference page and a frame? Page is nothing but the process is divided into small fixed size chunks of the same size. That means the process is divided into some equal sized data parts, then that is called as a page. Frame means the main memory is partitioned into equal size chunks. Chunks means parts that are relatively small. Okay, so here the best example, that means the physical memory, that means the main memory is divided into some partitions. So here the partitions are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are the frames. So logical memory means the pages. That means the process is divided into some pages. So how you have to identify means the size of the page and the frame size are determined by the hardware. It does not determined by the user. Actually, the page size and frame size are determined by the hardware only. Next one, what is fragmentation? So fragmentation is a phenomenon of memory wastage. That means where the memory can be wasted, then that situation is called as fragmentation. So it reduces the capacity and the performance because space is inefficiently used. So what are different fragmentations are there? There are two different types of fragmentations are there. The first one is external fragmentation. The second one is called as internal fragmentation. The external means total memory space is existed to satisfy a request, but it is not continuous. For example, I want to store 1 GB file into the memory, but the memory space is not present in continuous order. Just you have to look in this diagram. So here it is free and this is free, but here the free spaces are not presented in continuous order. This is called as external fragmentation. Internal fragmentation means allocated memory may be slightly larger than requested memory. For example, I'm requested 1 GB memory, but I had stored only 800 MB of data. But what about the remaining 200 MB? The 200 MB of data will be lost. Why? Because the 200 memory space is wastage. Sir, is it possible to store 200 MB with another file? No, it will not be possible. Once you have to request some specific memory size, so you have to store a data within the limit only. It may be higher, it may be lower. Okay, that is the case. So in case of internal fragmentation, the unused space are very high. Okay. Next, compaction. What is a compaction? The main purpose of compaction is it reduces the external fragmentation. So see this diagram. So in this diagram, this is the free space, this is the free space, and this is the free space. That means the block, that means the black part is represented the free space. Okay, these free spaces are present in different locations. The main purpose of compaction is so where the location where the data is stored, the data will be present. That means the used data stored in one location, the unused memory is placed in the other location. That means you have to completely store at one location. Now this is called as compaction. Okay, uncontinuous, that means uncontinuous free memory locations are placed in continuous order, then this situation is called as a compaction. Next one is what is page fault? Page fault means if I requested some data from the memory, if the data is not presented inside the memory, then that will be called as a fault. Then this is called as page fault. Okay, so a page fault occurs when a program attempts to access a block of memory that is not stored in the physical memory or RAM. I want the data in the memory. So if the data is not present in memory, then that is called as a page fault. Next one is demand paging. So when we have to have a demand paging means whenever the page fault is occurred, that means the data is not presented inside the RAM or physical memory. So based on demand, you have to take the data from secondary memory to the main memory. Now this is the case of demand paging. Whenever the physical memory does not contain the information, so based upon demand, you have to take the data from secondary storage to the primary storage. Then this is called as a demand paging. Next one is what is page replacement. Page replacement means whenever the page fault is encountered, we have to replace the page from secondary storage to primary storage. This is called as a page replacement. If the page is not presented, then you have to take from the secondary memory to primary memory. This is called as a page replacement. So what are the different page replacement algorithms? FIFO page replacement algorithm, first in first out, or first in first out page replacement, least recently used page replacement, optimal page replacement algorithms are existed. Next one is what is Belladis anomaly. So Belladis anomaly is also called as FIFO anomaly. Actually, this is the drawback of the FIFO page replacement algorithm. What is Belladis means if the number of frames are increases, automatically page fault rate is also be increases. But in general case, if the frames increases, the page fault decreases. But in case of FIFO, the page frames are increases. That means frames are increases, automatically the page fault rate is also be increases. Next one is thrashing. What is thrashing? Thrashing nothing but a process is busy swapping pages in and out. Okay, that means busy of swapping the pages in and out. This activity is called as thrashing. Next one is what is page cannibalizing. Page cannibalizing means page swapping or page replacements are called as page cannibalizing. Next one is what is the use of paging in operating system. The main purpose of paging concept is to remove the drawback of the external fragmentation. To remove the drawback of the external fragmentation. Next, this technique ensures that the data you need is available as quickly as possible. That means you have to get the data very quickly with the help of this paging concept. Next one is what is the advantage of a multi-processor system? Actually, we are seen in previous case, that is SMP. In the same fashion, multi-processor means multiple processors are presented. Whenever multiple processors are there, then automatically the number of instructions should be executed very quickly. That means the throughput will be increases. At the same time, the cost will be reduces, and also the reliability will be increases with the help of this multi-processor system. The last one is what is the RAID and what are the different RAID levels are there. RAID full form is a redundant array of independent disk. So what is the purpose of RAID means it is used to store the same data redundantly to improve the overall performance. Redundancy means a duplicate copy of data. So what is the purpose of duplicate copy means if one program is in execution, if the program is suddenly stop the operation or suddenly close the information, then we have to lose the data. How you have to get the data means with the help of the backup information. That backup is called as redundancy. That means with the help of the duplicate data, you have to once again execute the information. Okay, there are different RAID levels are there. Those are RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 2, RAID 3, RAID 4, RAID 5, and RAID 6. So these are the different RAID levels are presented. Okay, thank you.